Hi everyone, welcome to another design breakdown series. And we're going to be doing some design breakdown, but this particular one will be for this flyer that you're seeing right now on your screen, this Thanksgiving flyer. So we're going to be going through the process of designing it. It might look simple, but the thought process behind achieving it, it's what you're going to be looking at basically. So right now, let's go into the system to, continue in Photoshop. Okay, right now, as you see right now on the screen, this is Photoshop and this is the file open. So basically two stops are here. I'll just turn off my camera because this is the final output. When you look at it, you see the difference between both of them, that they are not the same. So what I'm going to do is okay, and open this, delete, because when you're working, there are some layers that you end up not using. So just delete them and also delete these last two layers here. So then I will turn off every other layer. This in case you are hearing any noise, sorry about that. And clean up everything. So we just have an empty canvas right now. I will start step by step and uh, you will get to understand what I'm talking about. So first thing we have here is this layer. Before I add this layer, this particular one was the base of for me to start building what I want to build. And from here, you can see that there are a lot of things. When I click here, these are smart filters. This puppet swap, seems like I used it, but I didn't use it again. Then I maxed out the top aspect of this thing. When you look at it, you will see it's okay. I don't know why it's not okay. Just a minute. Let me just delete it first. Oops. All right. I don't know why. Okay. Think this is the reason. So you can see that this is how the image looks like. There's a city coming dropping down, and this is not what I don't need it. I just need the down part of it because I already had my image before I started doing this design, and I really wanted to use that image. So when I turned this thing back on, this was red, but then I had to convert it to smart objects. Let me turn it on. So you can see I use hue and saturation to change the color to purple. I added motion blur to it so that it will, you know, I didn't want to have competing details in this particular distance, so that's why I added it. From there on, I added the sky. You see down here, and this is a watermarked paint stuff. I duplicated it so that it can go down. And there's a reason why I did this thing, which we're still going to see in some minutes. Then I added this AI generated image of people that are worshiping inside the church. I had to get an AI generated image for it. After that, this is the Thanksgiving service. Uh, This is where, well, one of the things I try as much as possible is to visualize what I want to create in my head, or maybe sketch it out, something like that, you understand? Or sometimes, as the process goes on, or I see the background, they begin to think, how can I create this? So I decided that since this has a perspective, seeing it right now, this design can be improved on, but no, I was concerned with time when I designed this thing. I had to go with this perspective for it. One. Then this other layer is a light flare that I added to it because I wanted to get from this GDC, I wanted to have a light flooding out, but I didn't want it to be a gradient. But I knew that when I had camera raw to this thing, there's going to definitely change and it's not look like this. Sometimes you can have the ability to visualize what you want at the end. But sometimes if you do it and the thing does not turn out to look like what you actually want to get, you can just, take it off later. Everything is just, we are experimenting. It's not that perfect. So, yeah, okay. Let me take out this bar. This is the shadow because definitely the light was coming from behind. This is another shadow. This the light at the back. You see why I told you that I needed that light? to come down. So this is another shadow of the leg, and this is my image. You can see. So he's standing. This is what I want. I don't want to go for a bigger picture, maybe where the subject is big. This is what I really wanted to go for. So once I was done adding it, you can see from here, I removed the background. I used the Photoshop remove backgrounds stuff where you can use, if your Photoshop cannot do this thing, you can use things like Adobe background remover is free, or you can use remove.bg, but I prefer Adobe background remover for this. After that, okay, the next thing we have here is the logo. I changed the color of the logo from blue to purple. Let me turn that up so you can see it. You can see it's blue, then put it back, it's now purple. You see, the reason why I talked about smart object is that I can decide to delete this thing and I still maintain the original color of my logo. You get me? So always keep that in mind. Next thing is ministry. There are two. Did one, convert to smart object, did the other one, changed it to overlay. And then from there, I added it because if I just use one, you can see that it's not that pronounced. I felt that I needed to come up a bit. I added another one, but I had to reduce the opacity very well so that it does not look too much. You get me? And also, I added this. Okay, this is for the address, and this is for the address too, to fit in. It took me time to find a way because trying to fit in this address in this other part of this design so it was work, because this other end of it seems to hide details that whoever is reading is will find it difficult to read. I tried as much as possible to fit in this thing here, tried everything, but it didn't work. So I had to settle for this because I can't have people squinting their eye. Like you can already see it from this ministry. The last part of the name is not that to pronounce, but I know that once the surname is a very popular name, so everybody's going to understand the ministry. You can already read it, but imagine fitting the date, the time, and the venue here. So it's not really working well. I tried putting it down here, still it was not giving me what I want. You understand? So I had to stick with this. So when I was done with this, I added my social media platform. After adding all these things, you can see that they just look plain. I can't send this thing as design. It's not popping. When a customer said let it pop, so it's not popping to the eye. I grouped everything. Make sure that when you're grouping, that no layer is locked. If you have any locked layer, it's not going to show actually. So I unlocked every layer that was locked, grouped it, duplicated the group, and that's why you can see group one, copy two, because I had to reiterate some corrections over time. So I had to duplicate it. So when I duplicated it, I converted it to smart objects. Then I went to my camera raw. When I click this arrow down here, you can see that this is my camera raw, and let me double click on it. I went to camera raw and I added a lot of stuff. You can see that it's popping. It's unlike when it was this. Oh, you can see everything. All those background I deleted. I didn't use them again, sha. But from my camera raw setting, you can see that. Let me use the hand to move around. Okay, you can see that this is my exposure, contrast, black, um, vibrance, texture. You can see everything. I had to do what I had to do to make it pop, and you can see that this color at this edge, it gave me what I want. Although it's not perfect, but time constraint, just had to send it. But you can see that the difference between this and the raw one is they're light years apart. You get me? So with this full step, you can actually follow the same process to create your own design and do these things. Please, I think we're going to be stopping here and we're going to, with time, I'll keep creating more content about design. So please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video, like the video. Thank you for your support so far, and see you in the next one. Bye.